man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Hey Man. I'm Josh.
I am Jacob.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey,
Been a couple weeks.
it has.
Yeah.
First, we really should just get right into the big pressing issue before we get into anything else. By the way, hey, everybody, there was a little break-in here at the studio. So if you notice we don't have any headphones, they took all those. And if you see where the TV used to be, where we used to show you the videos, they took that too. But they didn't take that one. They actually sawed through that wall
And knocked it over and stepped
the
on it.
TV ends, knocked it over. And I know that the thieves listen to this podcast. Hey, you dumb fucks. You left all the expensive stuff and you took 2 monitors. I hope jail is worth $274, you dumb fuck. You came in and took 2 12-inch monitors and a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You dumb fucks.
Yeah. Look, I was. It's like, you like. Look, you super dumb. I'm not gonna lie. That's a creative I've never heard of this thing before. So like, I was like, oh, okay, like not your first rodeo. And then seeing what you actually took, definitely your first rodeo. No. You dumb fuck. Like that was fucking crazy. You left all the expensive shit.
Here's the thing. It was such a crazy dichotomy because on one hand, they were really smart. They cased the joint, obviously. They waited till nobody was here. They waited until security had passed through. They waited until, I'm sure that people cleaned the buildings and stuff. They waited till all they were gone. And then they were smart, man. There's an abandoned office next door.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Like
they break in next door, everybody, and then they don't break in through the wall in the front because that's where people can see through the door. They go to the second office back, so it's dark, and they cut through the fucking wall to get in here. They cut through the wall. Genius move. And then they come in and take 2 monitors and a Coca-Cola.
and some headphones.
Yeah. Listen, guys, if you resale that, because new, all of that is probably $700, which means resale, if you get $250,
You're stoked.
you're lucky.
Yeah.
But I want you to know that you did knock over a camera so nobody could see you, but you didn't knock over all the cameras. You dumb fucks.
Yeah, and actually the TV that you stepped on would have been your biggest cash out of the night.
Without a doubt.
And you fucked it.
So I listen, on one hand, I'm really bummed out that somebody came in and broke in, and it's a real bummer. On the other hand, man, I enjoy when stupid people get their stupid.
World's dumbest criminals.
It's like, dude, when I was in South Carolina, this dude in line at a meet and greet called me a kite.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't get mad at him because I know what your intent was. Your intent was to make me angry, but it just turns out that you're dumb.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy.
Yeah.
So like, anyways, so we don't have headphones.
Which is good, so I don't have to hear him screaming in my ear.
The problem is without the headphones, I don't hear that well. So I can't modulate how loud I'll be talking. So good luck, everybody.
Yeah, you have a voice modulation disorder?
No, I just have deaf ears.
This was an Austin Powers reference.
By the way, I feel like my ears are getting bigger, which is a bummer.
Like your ears are getting wrinkly.
Wrinkly?
Look, go turn again, right here.
Well,
right.
the skin, my face is getting wrinkly because I'm old.
Yeah,
That's not my ear.
Your
That's
earlobe, your earlobe's got some wrinkles on it right now.
That's
too.
not my this.
Your earlobe. I think
This?
your earlobe.
My lobe does not have. I don't have a wrinkly lobe.
Turn. First of all, that was my nickname in high school.
I'm gonna have to look myself. I don't trust you.
Yeah, no, Matt, help me out. Turn again. He's got a little wrinkle right down the middle of it.
Wrinkles on my it's a crease.
From what?
I don't have a wrinkle lobe. You have a wrinkle lobe. Lisa Wrinkle Lobe. You know who Lisa Loeb is?
Lisa Loeb?
Lisa Loeb?
No.
Lisa Loeb?
You're just gonna say it
Lisa
again,
Loeb?
I was
Lisa
like,
Loeb?
he's just gonna say it over and over again to see if I actually understand it.
Anyways, I don't know what I was talking
Lisa
about.
Loeb?
But Lisa Loeb. So what were we talking about before I went down my ears?
World's dumbest criminals?
No, we got into some. I forget. But anyways, I'm so happy to be back with you. You know what, Matt? I think we need to do once and for all. The podcast on iTunes still says "Hey Man" with Josh Wolf. I think it has to say with Josh and Jacob Wolf. So let's make sure we switch that over. I saw that today.
Yeah, I would very much appreciate that.
I saw that today, and I was like, "Oh, that doesn't make sense."
No, not at all. Actually,
Had you noticed that?
I don't look at it on iTunes.
Yeah. Do you look at where do you look?
Spotify.
At? Oh, okay. Then where does it say? Does it say
Josh and Jacob Wolf.
It does?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just says maybe not on iTunes, but maybe on YouTube. One of the things I was looking at today, but we'll find it out.
iTunes, I think, would make the most sense.
So let's make sure we do that.
Copy.
I was in Los Angeles yesterday. Did some stand-up, did a podcast.
Where'd you perform?
At the Comedy Store main room. You know what I figured out about that? Remember I had mentioned to you that the main room was not my favorite cup of tea?
Yes, and can I also ask for a clarity question just for the sake of my mind, but also so other people who have never been know?
Yeah.
Belly room, small one. Original room, second big. Main room, the biggest. Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And originally, the belly room was set up by Mitzi for female comedians because they didn't get stage time in other places. So she set up their own special, specific room for the female comics.
Nope.
But I figured out why I don't feel like it's ever my best. But I figured out, I also know why I always go back. It's not my demo. My demo is a little older, with a little life experience.
Right.
And my comedy is relatable storytelling and a lot of it. And so it's not really my demo, but when I go there, it's and it's not my crowd. Nobody's there to see me.
Right.
So sometimes when you are only in front of people who are there to see you, it's hard to get a judge of what's really funny.
Yeah.
But that place, which I love, gives me a real good sense of, this is just a funny joke. And this is funnier in front of the people who know me and like me.
Right.
And so it's always great to go up in front of people like that. So you can get a real judge of what's funny and what's not funny.
Yeah, 100%. It's what's hard about the open mics for me. Like for the last year it's hard for me. There are certain open mics where they actually get a crowd. And so it's like, even if it's a smaller crowd, if I can make those 15 to 25 people laugh who aren't comics, I know that joke is funny.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? But I'm not going to say the spot, but there's one spot here where every time I go, it's 80% of the room is comics. And I guess maybe that makes me more nervous, but I have never done well in that room, at that bar, at that mic.
Yeah. You're not going to unless you stop doing material.
Yeah, I'm just not there yet.
Yes, but those are the places that teach you how to be a funny person.
Yeah.
As opposed to delivering, because you have to make these people laugh. Sometimes you can sneak material in, but those are the places where I wouldn't worry about your material. I would be like, how am I going to make these people laugh?
Yeah.
Because that is a skill set that's also important to have as a comic, to be up there and just have the ability to, okay, I'm just gonna be funny now.
Right.
Okay. I'll tell you, man, I've been watching some stand up. I watched Rogan's stand up.
No, I don't support anything he does.
I know you don't.
I like for a multitude of reasons, but I think my biggest reason, truthfully, is don't think he's that funny.
Okay. Let me just address this real quick.
I got one more other.
Yeah, go ahead. No.
I also think he's poisoned the waters for stand-up.
Huh.
I think he's poisoned the waters for stand-up because, look, his demographic of people who like him, and this is just from what a general know and just can see it, is frat boys. Like every frat dude in college loves the Joe Rogan experience. Will die for Joe Rogan. Anything he says, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And it kind of pollutes the waters, I think, for making them look for a specific type of comedian or storyteller or podcaster or whatever. And this is, I guess, the only compliment I'm going to give Joe is there is nobody like Joe Rogan. Like nobody on this planet is like Joe Rogan and does what he does the way he does it. So I feel like it kind of pollutes the water a little bit for people who are like, oh, I need to look for someone that's like Joe or someone that Joe likes or someone that this and that. And there are so many people who get left off that list because they're not mentioned name by Joe Rogan. And it just, some guys are like, oh, has he been on Joe's show? It's like, no, it's like, I'm not going to watch him. It's
Yeah.
like, why though? Like you're cutting yourself off. He's not doing it intentionally, but however he's doing it, it's making people limit themselves to what they should go out and look for in a comic. And I feel like that since COVID has really just like, look, congrats to him. He's taken over. He's got the highest subscribed to podcast in the world right now. And so good on him. Congrats on your success. But I'm not on the experience train.
Okay. A couple good points. And then let me just, okay. So, and I won't be able to remember all of your points. So I'm going to ask you what else you said.
Oh, I won't forget them. I'll say them again right now for you.
Let me first start off by saying, I think the people who say he's not that funny are judging him by his podcast. And I would tell you that I think you're right. I think he has people on his podcast who are just funnier people in conversation. But I think that's by design.
Oh, 100%.
And I think he's judged unfairly by his podcast as opposed to him as a comic. I think he is, if not the best, find me someone better as a podcaster. Right? 100%. So he's judged by that and the other people and the people on his show. I have to say, man, I think he's okay. I watched the special. I don't know if it's my favorite of his specials, but dude, I think he's underrated as a comic. And this is not coming from a guy. I'm not trying to kiss his ass. He and I aren't friends. I've never been on his podcast. I'm never going to be on his podcast. That's not like because I dislike him. He just has decided that I'm not going to be in his podcast. I've never been in his podcast. I don't know that I'll ever get to perform at the mothership.
And that's him choice, not you.
Yeah, but none of that. I'm not a child.
No.
That doesn't influence how I think about somebody.
Right.
And so I think he's actually an underrated comic. I don't know if this is his best, but before his best, well, and I think he would tell you this, or any comic, as soon as you start to do other shit, your comedy dips a little.
Yeah.
You have to eat, sleep, drink, shit, dream comedy because other people are.
So I've started dreaming about shows.
Yeah, have you?
I literally had just dreams about
it's awesome.
Me being on stage and talking to the crowd, and I'll me though, I talk in my sleep. So I'll say it, and she's like, Maaan, my girlfriend, will be like, "What did you say?" And I'm like, "Oh, nothing." She was like, "What about 19?" I'm like, "Oh, there were 19-year-old dudes at a show that I was talking to in my dream 8 seconds ago." And she was like, "Okay," and I was like, "I swear," it was just random shit hops up. Yeah, no, it started happening.
I love that.
Just crazy.
But I listen. I think he's underrated as a comic. I think some of the critiques that I read was I heard one of those stories on his podcast. Yeah, motherfuckers. When you talk 6 hours a week like he does into a microphone, that's how he's going to find some of his material, and that's how might workshop some of his material. I do think there's a danger, and this is not his fault. He's not out on the road working material because
he doesn't.
Because he's working so much in Austin.
Time. That's what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah. And so it's not like he's out, and it's harder to develop material in a room at your club where everybody is there to see you
and loves you.
It's hard. I think it's harder to get a judge on what is really funny and what's just funny, 100%. Right? But I think he's underrated as a comic. I would tell you this, the hardest I've ever seen anyone kill in any room, not named Joe Diaz, was Joe Rogan in a room called The Union at a show that I used to put together. This was back when he and I were at least friendly. And he crushed in a way. There were people, because it was a smaller place and we had the windows open because it was hot. There were people, it was so loud and so raucous. There were people on the street, on the sidewalk, standing outside the windows.
Wow.
Dude, crushed.
That's crazy.
I want to say something else. I think he's been great for comedy. Like Chelsea before him and Johnny Carson before her. I think those are the three people who have been the best for comedy, dude. Carson put stand-ups on the map, right? You did 5 minutes on Carson. You were selling out everywhere.
Right.
Chelsea brought a generation and a demographic to stand-up that had never seen stand-up shows and introduced comics that nobody had ever met.
Right.
And Rogan did the same with a zest and a love for comedy that I think is unmatched by anybody who's done it before. Okay. I understand what you're saying about the type of comic. But that's always been the case. And let me just say this. I think the mistake, it's flattery, but it's also a bummer because people look at Joe or Shane or Hinchcliffe, right? And who'd you say?
Philia.
No. He's not doing the type of comedy they're doing.
Okay.
Right. But if you were like these edgy guys who are pushing the envelope and what they're spawning is a generation of people who are just saying shock value stuff.
Right.
That's what it is.
Agreed.
They are attempting jokes that take a certain skill level.
Yep.
And if you don't have that skill level, it just comes across as shock value.
Right.
And so they are, I think, definitely the cancel culture, the idea that you can't say something on stage is pretty much out the window.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah,
that's gone, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think he's poisoned the water. I do think you're right. I think, look, if you're not on Kill Tony or on Rogan's show or on whatever, there's a huge swath of comedy fans who are never going to see you.
Right, correct.
There's no doubt about that. But look, Hassan Minaj, Joe Coy, Chelsea Handler, Kevin Hart, they're all selling tickets. They're not on, well, Kevin's been on the show, but do you know?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, so there's room for other people.
But also 3 out of the 4 of those people that you just named have extremely specific demographics.
Yes.
So
does Joe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, yeah.
And I would say his podcast.
I would say Chelsea does too, actually. Yeah.
His podcast demographic is wider than fraternity brothers.
That was more of just like in my age, ages 21 to 28. I'm 27. You get my point. Is like if I walked around and I just went into a comedy show and I could tell who would be a Rogan fan because of what this, that, and the other. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he does also have his demographic is much wider than that. But a big part of his demographic is those dudes. That's just that.
Yeah. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
And that's not a bag. Like you have more frat brothers as fans than I do. So I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
100%. And that's not a jealousy thing and this and that. It's just like,
but
it's
dude,
just that
we went a whole 5-7 years where nobody was talking to them in comedy.
Yeah.
Just like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that type of comedy was not allowed. So nobody was talking to this demographic.
Yeah.
And now, between Hinchcliffe and Shane and Rogan and a bunch of other dudes, they've got a ton of people to listen to.
100%. 100%.
Did I miss anything that you were talking about? But I want to say something about dude. Anybody who's critiquing this guy, I don't know how many hours he's put out. This has got to be his 5th. I guarantee you, if you're critiquing him,
I'll have to watch.
Just to put an hour out is difficult.
Yeah.
To put your 5th hour out is hard.
Yeah.
And to put your 5th hour out while you are the host of the biggest podcast in the world and running arguably the most successful comedy club in the world is bananas.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Not everybody's Chappelle. Not everybody's Shane Gillis. Not everybody's Chris Rock. Not everybody fill in your favorite comic. There's got to be people, and I guarantee you his stuff is funnier at the show.
Yeah. I'll have to
just watch it, dude.
No. And I wasn't critiquing him based on the podcast. I've seen some of his stand-up before. I just don't think I think he's a great storyteller. I just don't think the jokes, I just don't think I find him that funny. Yeah. But I'll have to watch this new one.
You're not alone, dude. You're not alone. There are other people who don't. I just, I find it so weird that we like to just take like Bert Kreischer was like the underdog for so long, and now that he's at the top, people can't stop shitting on him.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like, it makes no sense to me what we're doing. Oh, he's not funny anymore. He's not. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyways, I just want to say, man, I have a lot of respect for anybody who puts themselves out there.
Yeah.
And this is a very difficult art form.
Yeah.
And
I'm figuring that out. I'm figuring that out every time I go to a mic.
Dude, a very difficult art form. It's not like, look, guitar lessons, very useful. Comedy classes, I would say not as useful. It's a different
classes.
Improv classes, incredibly useful.
Okay.
For everybody, not just for comics. It teaches you how to listen.
Okay.
So very important.
All right.
But yeah, man, I love stand up. I love people who do stand up comedy. I think it's a bummer that people get their shit bags out. I can't wait till I release my special and people start shitting on that, which they will, man, which they will.
Yeah.
And I do want to announce something else before I forget. I know that money-wise, things are about to get tough for people. And I want to announce that I am keeping my ticket prices under $35, $35 and under. I'm doing fine. I'm not desperate for money. And like I've said before, I remember wanting to do something and not being able to take my wife or not being able to take everybody out. So we're going to do, honestly, the tickets are $25. It's ticket fees. There's nothing I can do about that shit.
Yeah.
But so I want to do that. And I also, guys, to help out families, I'm going to start with giving away 10 tickets a weekend. You know, obviously, if it's like there's 3 families and there's 6 people in the family that want to come, we'll figure it out. But I want to be able to people who can't afford it, who can't. I also, if you're a family and you've had a funky relationship with your kid or a funky relationship with your parent, and you bond over Jacob and I, or you bond over this podcast or our stand-up, and you think a live show will, help, that fits into the category. So I think what I'll have you do, for people who listen to this podcast, let's go to what's the Hey Man Pod? No exclamation point, right?
We're talking about the email? What are we talking about? Yeah.
Hey Man Pod, that's 3 A's, heymanpod@gmail.com. If I'm coming to your area, send me an email. Tell me what your situation is, and how I can get in touch with you. Don't send me your phone number because I won't call you. Send me like some sort of social media, or you can reach out to me on social media if you want to also.
Yeah. Also, I have the Hey Man Instagram on my phone. So if you DM the Hey Man Instagram, or if you DM me as well, like, we will see them. So just like any way you want to reach out, however he says.
But I would love to be able to give back to you guys. And thank you guys, and know that I've been where you are if you're struggling, and would love to help you with a night out to forget. And I think that I had one other thing that I really wanted to say, but I forgot.
Oh,
it had to do with the ticket and last thing, guys, if you're listening to this podcast, that means you listen to the podcast. Does that make sense? So
just keep going.
Okay.
Don't stop.
So if you're listening to this podcast, that means you listen to the podcast. Just know, if you want to watch the podcast, Jacob and I, when we post this on YouTube, we're in the chat with you watching it live. Not only that, we do a live stream 20 minutes before the podcast just to talk to you guys, just to get some FaceTime and yuck it up. So come join the live stream and then head over and let's do a live chat. on the podcast.
By the way, I
off.
keep looking at your shirt, and I'm always like, oh, look, it's Hilary Swank. And then I'm like, oh, no, it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Like, so all I can see is the face, and it's kind of grainy, and I'm like, that's a handsome woman. And I'm like, that's Leonardo DiCaprio.
It looks like if you mixed Leonardo DiCaprio with Kathy Bates. Which is kind of what Leonardo DiCaprio.
What?
Whoa, that. Ooh, I had a mini stroke
What was
there.
that?
I said Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, I'm not even high or drunk. Maybe I should start getting high and drunk. Oh, I got some ketamine lollipops I'm bringing to Columbus.
Oh, God.
Yeah, dog.
Yo, God damn it.
Oh, the one other thing I want to announce, and then, hey, guys, on August 24th in Palm Springs, if you live near there, there is an event happening that is going to be out of this fucking world. Me, Jacob Wolf, Thomas Dopaziola, Marty. We're going to be doing a podcast with Thomas. Then we're going to be doing a comedy show. Then we're doing it in a dispensary that lets you smoke in there.
Yeah.
So we're going to be hanging out all day. If you buy a full day pass, you can buy a ticket just to the comedy show, just to the podcast, or to both. Or you can buy a full day pass and you can hang out and smoke with us all day. We're just going to be sitting in the dispensary, ripping bomb rips.
You are struggling with your words today.
Let me get a drink. You finish up.
Yeah, look, it is a lounge. There's pool tables. There's TVs. There's video games. Look, I'm going to bring my Xbox. If anybody wants to run a FIFA fade or if I should download NCAA 25, like, look, I want to get a little game tournament going, but there's going to be pool. You could smoke weed. If you buy, like he said, if you buy the all-day pass, you can smoke weed with us before the shows, after the shows, throughout the day. So head over to, it'll be at the 420 Bank in Palm Springs. So go check it out. Thomas posted something today. We'll post the flyer again today.
I will be on mushrooms.
He will be on mushrooms for sure. But the podcast will probably go, we usually do 3 hours with them every time we do a pod.
Yeah.
Our show will, God knows, like, we'll probably do 2 hours. Like, it'll be a great time. Like, it's going to be so much fun. And it's going to be the first of its kind all the way around of a full day event. So come see us. It's a good time.
And the tickets are at Yola's.
Like I said, if you go to Dope as Yola, you go to his Instagram, or you go to my Instagram or my dad's Instagram. We've all posted, or Marty's. We've all posted the flyer at least once. So if you go check it out, it's there. We'll also be posting one after this is filmed, but that won't do you guys any good because this comes out next week.
If you go to dopeasusualpodcast.com, you can get tickets. Jacob Wolf, what do you want to talk about? I
would like to show you a video.
Do you also have an Urban Dictionary?
I do have an Urban Dictionary term, but I'd like to show you this video. I came across it the other day, and zero explanation. Matt, whenever you can, hit that first video for me because it's perfect. Actually, I really enjoy it. Okay. I knew you'd love this. That's it. That's the whole video. I just knew you would absolutely love that fucking video. Woo! That just,
well, you know what? I can't believe that nobody's thought of that before.
Yeah.
That seems like right. By the way, everybody, we're wearing headphones now. That was amazing.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that popped up the other day, and I just saw the first one. Like that very first scene, that very first cut is him doing the bass drum, and it's the small little fart, and it just cuts to him. And I was like, I'm not even gonna watch the end of this. I'm just gonna send it because this is something we need to watch.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
I knew you would love that.
But did the cymbals have a fart noise, or were they just cymbals? I feel like
they were just cymbals.
Yeah, I honestly, I was a little disappointed that I wanted it to all be fart noise, but
it basically was
really strong.
Yeah, it was funny though.
Yeah, the foot drum, the foot pedal one was the best. That, I mean, oh, by the way, dude,
woo!
Can I tell you what I got for the house?
Of a day?
I got a squatty potty.
Oh, I know. I used it all weekend.
great was that, dude?
They're the best. Where I saw that for the first time in someone's house?
Where?
Grandma and Grandpa.
Really?
Yeah, their house in Maine.
They had a squatty potty?
Yeah, the upstairs bathroom.
Dude, can I tell you, your poop comes out like it's on a water slide.
It comes out like a rocket.
Just woo.
Yeah.
It is. I am a little scared at the angle that it's going to shoot up out of the, you know what I mean?
Like it's going to hit like a certain angle and just come back
gonna
up
go
the top.
swoop up.
That's funny.
Because I honestly don't know how buttholes work. So I don't know if there's if it's a straight drop, but it feels like I'm at a curve a little bit.
No, I mean, we could pull up an intestinal map if you want to see, but I'm pretty sure it's curled in through the stomach and then eventually it's a straight shot through your butthole.
But there's no curve up. It's a straight drop out.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. It's weird that I don't know how I mean, I know how buttholes work.
Yeah, it was a weird way for you to start that sentence. I don't know how buttholes work.
I don't know if it goes whoop,
Yeah.
But it really, that's squatty potty. And we're not getting paid by squatty potty. But I will tell you, it has changed my life and the life of my asshole. And I'll tell you why. Because there's not as much pushing involved. So I feel like I'm really.
Push it.
Yeah, that
would be awesome if someone did something like that.
Somebody's done that for sure. Push it real good.
No one's done this fucking.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it helps that he looks like the wolf man. It's amazing. This is the part that gets me the most.
It's so good.
For those of you listening, I know you listen, but
For those of you who can't see what's actually happening,
bummer for you.
Bummer, and let me explain. So a guy has said,
we don't explain on the audio. They got to figure it out.
You literally tell me all the time to explain on the audio because they can't see me. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but not the video we're playing.
Oh,
no.
Don't say we don't explain for audio because you make it a.
But if
point.
like you're doing this or something, you have to. But that is not. We're not going to explain an entire video.
Okay, this next video, and then yeah, I'll just show you the next two videos. Fuck it. So
let's just do one.
Okay, so one of them is like 8 seconds. It's gonna happen fast. You need to be paying attention.
Okay.
Click that. Yeah, click that one, Matt. All I'm gonna say is watch the dude in the hat. Did you see that?
How could I not see that? Let me just say a couple of things.
Love the music also, by the way.
First of all,
that's shot out.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you for sure.
Pause it.
This is what I know for sure. Not the first time he's done that.
Zero chance. I agree.
Because he did it so casually. Like, if that was a decision I was going to have to make, I wouldn't. First of all, how did that poop fly out of his butthole like that without any pee coming out?
Agreed.
How did he do it so casually where he knew where he was down past his butthole? How did he know it wasn't just going to drop down his leg?
Great point. I think also with the ferocity that it came out, like there's no way it just shot out with not like a fart sound. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then also the sound of it hitting the floor. Like if you look at that again, like the woman next to him is just kind of like,
yeah, but why wasn't there a bigger reaction out of her?
That's what I'm saying is like out of all the things, all the sounds you should have heard being right next to him, I would have been like, hey, yo, did you just shit on the floor? Like, and right away. And also, by the time he walks away, she's still standing right there. How have you not walked away from someone else's human shit?
And what was with the Titanic music?
Yeah, I don't know. I liked it.
Me too, but it seems like a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I do like, he was like, let me get and then he was like, nah, I like how he casually walked away like, nah, I don't think I'm going to get anything right now.
Oh, that wasn't a casual walkway. You didn't see the poop walk away?
Oh, I saw the poop walk.
Oh, yeah,
but how, that's fascinating.
Okay, and so last but not least, Mr. Poo-Jitsu is back. But he's back with not Poo-Jitsu.
Huh?
Take a look.
Okay.
This is what I think genres of music would sound like if they each were a fart.
This is a bit...
Jazz. Hip hop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reggae, man.
These are all
Country.
None of these make any sense.
Okay, I've seen enough.
How dumb
I
are you?
have to tell you, I got to tell you guys, first of all, we're heavy on the fart noises today.
Yeah, honestly, it was just really the last two. I forgot about the drum one, and it just happened to work out well.
But I love this last Pujitsu guy when he spreads his cheeks
yeah,
to really get in there.
yeah. It's a dangerous game that man plays.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
I'm sure the people listening and watching,
the audio listeners,
you
you're gonna
got
have a good
your-
time. Make sure you wear headphones.
yeah, you have your fair, you had your fair share of farts, and you're welcome. I don't know what else you expect out of
That
me. You've been
first-
following me long enough
That
to know I
first
think that's
video
funny.
of the drummer
So
is
funny.
still super funny.
So funny. But you also had something else you wanted to talk about today.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of feel like shit recently. Maybe it's just because like I've been, and look, the break from comedy's been great, and maybe it's just been like kind of just from stuck in the house and doing mics that are sometimes kind of defeating to how funny I think I am. And I don't know, like I haven't shaved since we haven't gone on the road since. I was supposed to go to LA to get a haircut sometime this month. I don't think that's gonna happen. My hygiene's a little affected. I stay up late. I sleep in late. I started drinking a lot more. I don't know. Just like there's just been a lot of things recently. I don't know why. I hit this little slump.
Yeah. I first of all, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
As far as the comedy part, those shows are necessary.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Those shows are necessary.
And I was able to do the dirty at 12:30. Shout out Gabe Lopez. Thank you for having me. And I got a lot of compliments afterwards. Like, but again, you know, a lot of my usual of just get to the fucking joke. But everybody, the big people were like, hey, most first timers here eat shit. And I was like, is that you telling me I ate shit or not? And they're like, no, you did way better than most people usually do here on their first time. And I was like, no, I appreciate that. And the next time I go up, I'm going to be even better. But like, you know, it was like, I think it's every time, every first time I do a mic, it's just like a first time jitter type thing
Mhm.
because I don't know what the crowd is. I'm not familiar with the stage or whatever it is. Like I'm making up in my mind. But I think I still did well. And I did like in the last 3 weeks, I've done probably 20 mics.
I think it's amazing that you're doing that.
And found a punchline for a joke that I have been looking for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited about and is super funny. And I will be doing on the road. Or I mean, we'll see how I feel about whatever part of my set I'm going to do. I haven't told my usual closer at your show in probably 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just because I felt like mixing up kind of a little bit. And if I'm doing less than my time on stage, it's not a problem, you know? But yeah, I just,
Jacob Wolf. the not the switch, but that mood or whatever, however you want to describe it, I mean, I want you to know that your mom and I have definitely noticed,
Mhm.
And are just trying to stay out of your business,
Mhm.
you know, and because you know that we're here
Mhm.
if you need to talk or want to talk,
Right.
And I will say, especially for me and your mom, that is particularly difficult.
Yeah, I know.
It is particularly difficult, but it's something that I know as a parent and as a human that you can't help people who don't want your help.
Mhm.
And people are going to go through ups and downs in their lives. And that's just how.
Or it goes.
Yeah.
No.
Here's what I would say. And I do believe this to be true. It's up to you and it's in your power to change all of that, to change a funk.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I know that. And
Yeah.
I like, it's like the first, you know, the first step for anything is acknowledgement and accepting that where you are is where you are. And now it's time to move. And I don't know. I just haven't I think maybe it's because we haven't been on the road, and I don't know. I'm just in my own head about it, even though there's stuff like being on the road isn't what is should be affecting how I feel about myself or my mental health. But I don't know. I feel like, and this is nothing against anybody, but just being in the same place for 5 weeks, because for the last 2 years, I haven't been at home for 5 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
It's like thrown off my bodily routine. Do you know what I mean? Or like my mental routine or whatever it is. And I'm not saying Vegas or my house or you guys or whatever is bad for my mental health. It's just, I think my brain was like, hey, you're a traveler now. So now that you're stuck at home for 5 weeks, you know, something's wrong. And I've just been like, I don't know, switches have flipped. There we go.
Dude, I would look at some of these things that you might be looking at, like the mics and the 6 people, as not just opportunities, but you're checking them in order to get great. And I'm assuming that is the goal.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get great, there are certain things you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I would never look at those things as, oh, I have to, or this is shitty, or you're like, oh, I'm checking the boxes I need to check.
Yeah.
There is no way to be a successful, funny comic and skip steps.
Yeah, it's why I started doing mics at the beginning of this year. It's like, I didn't have to after last year, but like, it's made me better. I've been able to come up with new premises and new jokes that I like, that I haven't even, I mean, I've run by you, but like, it's not something we sat down and wrote together.
Mm-hmm.
Something I either wrote with my girlfriend, I wrote by myself, or I wrote with some of the other comics and my friends. And so it's opened me up a little more to start talking about myself, which I love, because that's always been the goal eventually, is to not have to talk about, you know, not make it 100% about us, even though the 3 other stories I'm talking about, you're involved in.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell them now, I just take you out of it.
Smart.
Like for the Cleveland story, which I won't go into, I don't say that we were there. I just say that I was there.
Yeah, it's smart.
I just don't even mention you. The other one that I'm working on now, I kind of have to mention you. Yeah. But I don't mention that you're a comic. Do you know what I'm saying? I just say I travel with my dad. And that's what we do. And so it just like, Gabe said it to me on Friday. He was like, it doesn't have to be 100% true. He goes, take the story and then say it out loud. Any part where you mention your dad, fuck off. Take him out of the story. You weren't doing this with him. You were just doing it with you. And when you went to that room, it wasn't his room. It was your room with your friends. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And so like, and then it's just a lot of like, you know, get to the joke, this and that. But the reason I'm doing mics also is because I just learned this or figured it out 3 weeks ago. Open mics are not for telling stories.
No.
I mean, they are, but like 30-second stories. It's not like, it's like, this is my recount of what happened here. And then it's 30 seconds with 6 punchlines in the middle of it. I've started comedy backwards.
Yes.
Or like how I would think of backwards. I started comedy telling stories and not doing mics.
Yes.
I started telling stories in front of actual comedy crowds where everybody in the crowd wasn't just another comic waiting to come up to do their time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are some mics, I like the Wise Guys mic on Tuesday, I fucking love. Because those comics there, it's a big enough room, but they're still invested in there to watch their friends do well. Do you know what I mean? But I will say, the last 3 weeks that I've gone, I've seen pretty much the same dudes. They've all done a different 3 minutes every time they've gone up there. I have not. I might have. I might have switched the joke around and out, but still, it's like, it's crazy to see how many just like 10, 12, 15-second bits that they have that can fit in 3 minutes. When I started doing mics, I was just trying to start doing new stories that I wanted to work on with no punchlines anywhere, just a couple here and there, and then working around it. But I figured out that just telling that blank story with a good punchline and getting no laughs, I couldn't figure out whether or not this joke was funny or not, because it's a show set and an open mic set are different, and they just have to be, you have to be in 2 different headspaces for it. And I figured that out a couple weeks ago, and I've been killing it open mics.
What are you doing to help alleviate your mood?
The mics are fun for me. Like I go into the mics because I want to work, but also like, you know, I'm at the mics. Like I see my buddies while we're out there, or while I'm out there. So, you know, socializing is really what I'm trying to do. The most. Which is also, you know, going to 4 mics a week is helping.
What do you think it is that's been making you feel bad about yourself?
I don't know. I think maybe also because like, yeah, I still have like, you know, and my mood shouldn't be based on this, but like I feel like way less lack of an income for these last 2 months.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And my lack of income shouldn't define whether I'm happy or not.
It adds stress.
But it definitely has added some stress in the
Yep.
last couple months. So I think that's probably a big factor. I'm doing it just because like I don't know how it's just been kind of like a new thing for me. I've started drinking a little more.
Yeah, I've been noticing that. What do you think? What do you think the deal is with that?
I don't know. I just like I never did a lot ever growing up.
Yeah.
Or really. And it's not something that's gotten wicked out of control. It's not something that is like I'm going over the top and going nuts on. Like I'm not blacking out. I'm not like
Yeah, but are you drinking and getting in your car?
I'm not like I'll have like that one drink you see me have at Kimmel's, and then an hour and a half, 2 hours goes by, and then
Okay.
I'm getting in my car. But I'm not like taking a shot and then getting in my car. Like I'm always taking all precautions. Like I'm never doing anything that's insane. If I ever feel like I am too fucked up, which I was the night that the Celtics won the championship, I legit said, "Hey, I'm gonna chill out here and I stayed in Kimmel's. I stayed in their lobby for 2 hours, and I was like, all right, like. The vision's here. I'm seeing straight. I drank 3 waters in those 2 hours. I just like made sure I was good. If I needed to, I for sure would have called an Uber. But that was the only time I've gone over the top recently. Like I'm never really having more than 1 or 2 wherever I'm at. And so it's not like I'm going buck wild, but I have been drinking more than I ever have in my entire life. Like at any point in time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I was like, oh, I'm going to cut back on smoking weed a little bit. Then I was like, new vice. I'm going to see how much I like drinking now.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, that wasn't the point of me. Shouldn't have been the point of me trying to cut back smoking as much. Do you know what I mean?
I do, buddy. And so it sounds like if you're finding new things to numb yourself with, that you are doing just that, numbing yourself to whatever you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'm trying to numb because I want to cut back on smoking weed because as much as I used to smoke, I would numb myself, but then I'd also just smoke myself to sleep.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that anymore. Like I would legit, I'd be smoking and then I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm tired at 6 p.m. Let's take a 2-hour nap and then wake up and then be up for a couple more hours and then just like smoke myself into a coma and just like.
Listen, dude, I've suggested this a gazillion times and I'll suggest it one more time. And obviously we'll pay for it.
Therapy?
Yep. And I know you've said to me, this is the craziest thing, but it's not crazy because I was a 27-year-old dude before too.
I think I've said multiple times, yeah, I'll look into it, and we've never gotten back to it.
You've said, I go, it'd help you. And you have said to me, this is exactly the guy. I go, it'll help you. And you go, I know, I still don't want to do it. I'm like, what a fucking dumb 27-year-old thing to say, but I would have said the same thing. But my point is this, man. As somebody who's 55 this year, good Lord, I can't believe I just said that out loud.
That you're already 55.
I'm not 55.
I've been telling people you were 55. I'm not gonna lie.
What a dick move.
Well, because I legit thought you were 55. That's not like a. Well, I didn't do it on purpose.
I was saying I was 55 all year too, and your mom was finally like, "You're 54," and I felt like I gained a year. It was pretty great.
I'm gonna start telling people you're 56.
What an asshole. But as somebody who's 55, and man, I feel so. There were some things that happened in LA this week, in old Josh would have been triggered as fuck, dude. I feel.
Ooh, can I guess what things happened? Were they work things or just like typical things?
Work stuff.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
But I feel so much better and so much more secure and so much more at peace. I can't even explain, dude. And I finally think I'm becoming the person that I have been pretending to be my whole life.
Mm. And I remember you said that when we interviewed Jason.
And not pretending like I'm putting on a mask. I don't think I knew I was pretending.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm so much happier. Your mom and I relate on such a deeper level. I just can only tell you that it cleared up so many things for me.
Hmm.
And I could not, dude, you've been through some stuff that you have never processed. Your biological mom, and we know that your mom is your mom and you're not lacking anything. But as a child, when your biological mom skedaddles, that leaves skedoodle.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna use it and be like abandons you. You were like
No.
skedaddled.
When she skedaddles, that leaves a hole, man. As a child, as an impressionable kid, you have some abandonment issues, but you also are like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Right? When you had that shit happen with you with that group of friends who one day you guys were thick as thieves and literally the next day they all stopped talking to you. That feeds into the I'm not good enough. What's wrong with me?
By the way, which friend group are we talking about? The young friend group or the high school friend group?
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and it feeds into that. What's wrong with me? And so you're coming from a place of I'm not enough all the time.
Right.
And so somewhere inside of you do, but it's not a coincidence, dude, that since I've started taking therapy, my desire to smoke weed is so low. I don't feel like I have to. Now, I'm not going to stop forever because I like being high. But I don't need it every night so to numb however I felt about myself.
Right.
And there's other things I just recognize in you from me that dude, you don't have to go to therapy for the rest of your life.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But I can only say where you are right now, you are in a fucking diamond situation, dude, with the world at your fucking fingertips. And the only thing standing in the way of you is you. And I can tell you that we're not going to list it off by behaviors. I've told you before, you just give yourself 1,000 little paper cuts is what you do.
Yeah.
Right. And those behaviors come up because of how you feel about yourself.
And it's almost like sometimes I self-sabotage myself to make those behaviors come up so that I can feel that way.
So you justify, see, I knew I was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I knew that was me. And I recognize that because I was that dude. And I haven't had a negative self-talk. I can't even remember last time I said something bad about myself in my head. I can't even remember. And I have started, if you know, when sometimes you have those conversations with people in your head that I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
Whenever that starts, you know what I say to myself? You know what? First of all, this conversation is never going to happen. But second of all, you know what? That person gets to be on their journey. I'm going to be on mine. And I truly do wish the best for that person. I hope you get whatever you want in this life. That's all I'm after. I'm after fun and to be surrounded by family and love and to do what I would love to do with the people I love. But you are so talented, so funny, so ready to capitalize on this crazy journey you have in front of you. You need just to step out of your own way. And you're not going to be able to do it by yourself. You just aren't. And I'm not, like I said, what if it's just 12 weeks, 3 months to literally get rid of all the stuff that's blocking you, all that, whatever money issues, dude, if you talk about the self-sabotage, you could have been making a whole lot more money. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And we both know how, right?
Yep.
So like,
and we both know how also I hit this trouble anyways.
Yes.
Yeah.
So point being, please, can I ask you why? And when you say, I know it'll help me, but I don't want to do it. Do you know what that is? That's self-sabotage.
Yeah.
I'm literally saying, dude, if you drank the rest of that water, it would heal you. You'd be like, yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah.
But there's, right?
It's about, I think it's for me, it's a self-sabotage and having to put the work in that at this point, my brain is telling me I don't want to put in.
Your brain, here's what happens. Your brain gets used to, this is how I feel. So they fall into everybody falls into, this is what is comfortable for me. I'm comfortable being miserable. I'm comfortable being depressed. This is what I know. This is what your body knows. This is what your brain knows. So it'll try to keep you there, dude.
Yep.
But my question to you, is this where you want to stay?
No. It's not.
I know it's not. So, I mean, why won't you just try it for a month?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, my fucking God.
I'm also not going to lie. I just like saying that because I like seeing your reaction. It makes me laugh.
Oh, but I just want the...
You want the best for me.
Yes.
And I know that. And I hope that sooner or later I do too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like you said, you can't help someone who doesn't want that help. It's just like, I'm going to want it eventually.
But like, you want to be great at stand-up.
Yeah.
You want to make money.
Yeah.
You want to be in a healthy, loving relationship.
Correct.
These are things because of how you feel about yourself and what you think about yourself and what you think you deserve and your subconscious. These are things that are going to be really hard to come by for you right now. So let's just, you know what I'm saying?
What are you, a clicker now?
Yeah, let's get it. Let me just, if you were going to go to therapy, man or woman?
Ooh. Who do you have?
I go woman.
Yeah, I think I would choose woman also.
Old or young?
Middle-aged.
Yeah, that's what I'm with the two.
I don't want someone my age because then it's gonna be like,
agreed.
It sounds like they're like, why do I know this and you don't, you dumb fuck?
Yeah.
And I don't want someone who's older because then it's two different generations of advice and listening. But I feel like somewhere between the ages of 30 and 40 is...
That's middle-aged? Holy shit.
Hey man,
Wait, then what do you judge? How do you judge me?
Senior home.
Oh,
hey man, you get, if we went to a certain dispensary right now, you would get a senior discount.
dude, it's my favorite thing about the dispensaries here. On Tuesdays, if you're over 50, you get a senior discount. 40%.
By the way, senior discount 50 plus.
By the way, dude,
That's my thing. So middle age is 30, 40. I am almost middle-aged.
last night at the Comedy Chaos Sam Tripoli show, you know, Absolute Extracts, they sponsor that show, dude. And I go, oh, I finally got my pills back. Daddy's got his pills.
By the way, you screaming, I finally got my pills is rough.
Is it? Oh, did I mention that I want to give some tickets to some? Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, dude,
Excuse me.
listen, I love you. I am obviously, bless you. I am obviously here for whatever for you.
I appreciate it.
And just know that it will be life-changing for you.
I know.
Okay? It'll be
We'll get
life-changing.
there. Oh, you want to do it real quick?
Yeah, let's do
Okay,
an
we'll do
Urban
an Urban Dictionary real quick.
And by the way, while he's looking it up, Arlington,
Oh,
Virginia
I
is
already have it.
Arlington, Virginia is this week when you're listening to it. Arlington, Virginia, Friday and Saturday at the Arlington Draft House.
And then the week after, you're going to be seeing us or 2 weeks after, Palm Springs, the 24th, 420 Bank.
Yeah.
With me, Josh Wolf, Thomas Arujo.
That's actually
aka
the next week after. Not the
Great.
week.
Thomas Arujo, Dope Yola, and Marty O'Neill.
Yep. And then September, October, November, December, January, February, we are fucking packed.
So
Come get some.
Before I do this, comedianjoshwolf.com for 28 tickets. Okay.
And remember, if you see me coming near you and you're part of a family and you're struggling, you want to bring your kids, you want to bring your parents, you want to connect with your kids, you want to connect with your parents, reach out to me either on social media. I read all of my DMs on Facebook and Instagram.
So if you don't get a response, just know that he saw it and didn't want to respond.
That's not true. I'll respond if you
kidding.
send the text or you can email at heymanpod@gmail.com. Hit me with an Urban Dictionary.
All right, your turn this weekend is the Alabama Fire Dragon.
Wasn't that last week's, Matt?
No, that was the Alaskan pipeline.
Alabama Hot Pocket.
Oh, that's a good one. By the way, the list that I'm here right now,
yeah.
like there was legitimate 6 different terms for Missouri. It was crazy.
Alabama Firecracker?
Fire Dragon.
All right. Alabama Fire Dragon. Okay, well, Alabama Fire Dragon. Okay. All right, Jacob. Is there hot sauce involved?
No. Can I give you
Wait till the end to give
No, I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Fire Dragon is kind of misleading.
Okay.
There is nothing
Fire about it.
like legitimate like hot sauce or fire. No, there is nothing along the lines of a flame. I think it would be just more of like it feels like fire.
Okay. All right.
That makes sense?
Yep.
Okay.
So Alabama, let me ask you, is Nick Saban involved?
No.
Is his face involved at all?
No.
Okay, that's the same question. So I've got 2 questions.
Yeah.
Hot sauce and Nick Saban. Okay. Is it vagina related?
No.
Ooh, penis related.
No. Sure?
Damn it. Am I at 4 questions already?
Yeah. I'll give you a couple more.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So hot. So hot in the city. Hot in your titty tonight. Yeah. Okay. So fire dragon. No. Okay. No vagina. Kind of penis. Kind of penis. So is something coming out of the penis?
In the action, yes.
Okay.
By the way, it's 5.
Okay, so this is when your penis, you shoot out. Why are you shooting out hot liquid? Okay,
I told you you're not. It's
but
not.
you said there was a burning sensation.
Okay.
No?
Yeah.
You said burning
There
sensation.
is a burning sensation, but not for the dude and his penis.
Okay.
I might have given it away, but I feel like it was a hard one. It was, you were never going to guess it.
Is it when a dude ejaculates in a woman's mouth and the semen comes flying out her nose?
Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding. So when a man is receiving,
Why Alabama?
I don't know. That it said also known as the Alaskan fire dragon, but where did the states come from? Anywho,
It's Alabama if you're wearing a Nick Saban mask.
no, it's Alabama if it's with your cousin.
Okay.
So when a man is receiving oral sex, and just as he is about to ejaculate, he tells the woman something shocking, like "I have herpes." The woman chokes, forcing the semen through her nostrils, kind of like a burning sensation.
By the way, I feel like that actually probably has happened in Alabama, and that may be why they call it that.
Or if it's Alabama, the shocking thing you would say is we're related.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did you know that you're my cousin?
Yeah, yeah. We have the same last name.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a great way to end the show, everybody.
Did you know you can have babies out of your mouth?
You actually. Josh Wolf has gotten his first Urban Dictionary term correct.
I think I got one kind of right.
I think you got one kind of right, but this one is on the nose. No pun intended.
I got the unicorn.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for stopping by. Next week, by the way, also next week, if you do have a good Urban Dictionary term that we haven't gone over yet, and you would like for me to
interview with Dan Levy next week,
send me your Urban Dictionary terms. Either way, I would like to see what you guys got next week.
Also tell them about the send an email question.
Okay, hold on. Let's go through this real quick. So next week, this is not airing.
This airs next week. The week after that is Dan Levy.
Copy. Okay. By the time
what did I say?
I don't know. You said Dan Levy next week.
No, this is next week.
Okay, great. Stop talking. Let me go from there.
Dan Levy, the pedophile?
Dan Schneider.
Oh.
And so this will be up next week. The week after that, which I don't know what date that's going to be, our Dan Levy interview is going to be up, which is
Week after next.
I already said that.
Oh, okay.
God damn it. I just told you. Let me go. Let
Okay.
me go. And that's that. Send all your questions to the heymanpod@gmail.com. That's 3 A's in man, no exclamation point. heymanpod@gmail.com. Send us some questions. We haven't done a question pod in a really long time, so send us some good ones in. DM me your Urban Dictionary terms. Don't send me diagrams on how to do them. I just want the definition. You sick fucks. So send me in your favorite ones. Comedianjoshwolf.com for tour dates and tickets. By the time you hear this, we will be in Arlington, Virginia for the weekend as well. And also don't forget, every Monday we're at Jimmy Kimmel's here, Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, 7:30 p.m. On the Strip. So come see us. It's a great time. What? Yes.
I just thought of a fun parody song. You've never heard that song, Hot in the City? Hot in the City.
Yeah, didn't you just say fire in my titty?
Yeah, but what about you got floppy titty? You got floppy titties, all right.
Josh Wolf Comedy,
right.
Josh Wolf Comedy on all platforms.
You got floppy titty. You got floppy titty tonight.
Jake_Wolf on Instagram. It's about to
Tonight.
get changed to Jacob_Wolf Comedy. I think I'm going to get rid of it. It's Jake Wolf on TikTok. And as always, thank you guys for stopping by. And
floppy
listening.
titties.
And listening, newbies, oldies, listening to me go through whatever it is I'm going through right now.
Download, rate, subscribe. But if you're watching, if you can put a comment in, that would be amazing.
Yeah. And 420 Bake, August 24th. Guys, we got a lot of stuff coming up. He's also August 21st, Haunted Homies in Los Angeles. Like I said, comedianjoshwolf.com for tour dates and tickets. No tickets will be over $35. And don't forget, if you are looking to come to a show and you haven't been able to afford tickets or whatever that and the other, DM him, DM me, send an email, DM the Hey Man Pod Instagram. We will see it and we will contact you.
And just adds up, I won't be able to control the theater ticket prices as much. Some of those might be up to $45, but we're going to keep them low, everybody. We love you. We want you to come out and see us. We want you to be able to enjoy a night out with your friends, with your family, or just by your fucking self. We get not being able to pony up the dough for 150 tickets and $150 tickets and parking and all that shit.
Or also with like a 2-drink minimum and just all that.
So
all that shit.
we want to celebrate life with you. Come hang out with us. And
as always, do someone nice for someone today. Tell somebody you love them. Love you.
later, love you.
Later.
Hey, if you like this podcast you just watched, you're going to love the one I'm popping up in your face right now. Check it out.